What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last video we started manual swapping my 1991 Toyota Soarer, and in this part hopefully we will be finished. It's the middle of the day, it's a little bit of a slow day, and I'm capitalizing on that time and trying to get some more stuff done. So where we last left off, the transmission is in, the transmission tunnel is cut and is fitted perfectly. Everything there is good to go. The day after, I called a Driveshaft shop to get a measurement and an order placed for a Driveshaft. But when I called them, they said that I need a 3-bolt to 4-bolt adapter for being able to have a one-piece Driveshaft made for this car. So that's the first thing I got. I have it right here. It's just a 3-bolt diff adapter to a 4-bolt one-piece Driveshaft. I think it's a 1350 yoke style Driveshaft. So that is ordered. I have this. We're good to go there. Now here we have the master and also the old pedal and bracket setup that I had bought way back in August that I can't use because I forgot to buy hardware for it. So I went ahead and bought a fully assembled one. I found this one on eBay and it was like 250 bucks, but it is definitely worth it because it's got everything, it works, and we can mount this in the car today. Now this is the part that I've been looking forward to the least, is like drilling holes and stuff for the master and the pedal and all that stuff, but I think that it'll actually go pretty smoothly. So first step, before I even do anything, I'm gonna take the seat out. That way I'm not dangling my feet in the air and my back's all tweaked in a weird way to try and get in there, because I'm gonna be under the dash for a while. So I'm gonna set you guys up on a tripod and we are going to rip that seat out. Alright, so I have the interior cleaned up. I went under there and I saw the indents. I'm going to show you guys, or try to show you guys. So right there you can see two little dots. Those both have to be cut out. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Those holes have to be drilled, and then that's where the master goes and the pedal will attach to that. So I'm going to do that right now and then check back in with you guys. After probably an hour and a half to 2 hours with my head stuck under the car, the clutch pedal is in. Johan helped, Chris helped. It was a nightmare to get that thing in, but it's done. Let me get my phone light out. When you do these conversions, obviously the automatic brake pedal is going to be too big, and it'll be very, very close. So I cut the brake pedal and trimmed the boot for it, the little rubber boot. I 5-minute epoxied that back on, so we are pretty much good in here, which I'm very happy to say. This was not fun at all to do, but I'm stoked that it's done. And now, in terms of clutch stuff, all that's left is to hook up the clutch line to the master, fill it with fluid, bleed it, fill up the trans, and all that stuff will be good. So now that that is good, I'm going to start tackling putting the interior back together, which I'm very pumped on because that's going to change the entire look of the inside of this car. I have some more stuff that came that will be required for this that I will show you in order to do this swap properly, cleanly, and the right way. Alright, so in order to do this swap cleanly in terms of inside the interior, you need this. Now what this is a fiberglass tunnel replacement that will sit the boot and everything about 2 inches higher up. That's where it is from factory, so this is kind of like a replication of that. This will get drilled and put into the interior, and then the rubber and metal kind of inner boot mounts to that, and then the actual interior goes over all of this. So I'm gonna get this put into the car. Sorry also, by the way, if my face is any closer than it usually is. I'm trying out a new lens. So I'm gonna get this put up in the car and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all done. When it comes to installing this kind of boot thing, I've noticed that this does not line up with the holes that are here, which kind of sucks. but it is what it is. I'll make it work. And I've also noticed there's really no right or wrong way of mounting this fiberglass piece. I looked up pictures of how they did it, but that doesn't work with my application, even though this is advertised for a Soarer. I'm trying to do this very clean, so I'm just riv nutting. I already have 2 in, and I'm gonna just do 1, 2, 3. That should hold the fiberglass piece down perfectly fine, and then I'm gonna figure out how to mount the metal boot on top of that, and then we can tackle putting the rest of the interior back together. I got all this stuff mounted. I had to drill a couple holes, but overall it is all mounted up tight. I found some candy red hardware in the spare bolt bin, which kind of is fitting for the car. But anyways, everything here is finished. Now comes the super fun part of trying to put this interior back together, and gonna be one piece at a time, but I will check back in once everything is plugged in. If I miss anything throughout this whole process that you guys are curious of, be sure to leave it down in the comments. I'll be answering any questions that you guys have about the swap, if you're planning on doing this to your Toyota Soarer or your SC300, stuff like that. So if I forgot to mention something, I apologize, but leave it down in the comments if I did, and I will try and answer it for you. Alright, so I want you guys to have the same satisfaction that I do, and that is with installing this piece. This is probably the most excited I am in terms of like putting the interior back together. This piece is sick, and it's gonna complete it. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing it right.
Yep. No cutting and stupid shit. We're gonna put it in. Alright, so we officially have a manual transmission. This trim made this come together so well. I'm so glad that I found it. Everything just looks so OEM. This is a temporary shifter that Adam let me borrow. I have an OEM one coming, but it won't be here till like March 1st. So this will do me for now, but man, this just looks the part. It's so good. We tested to make sure that everything's good. I cranked the car, so the car does work. The neutral safety switch does work. We know that reverse works. So as of right now, the only things left that we have to do are fill the trans with fluid, bleed the clutch, install the drive shaft, and put I bought the transmission cover plates, the OEM cover plates. Those are here, so we have to do those. And then once all that stuff is done, this car's done, and it's officially 100% manual. So we are on the home stretch. There shouldn't be much left that we have to do, and I guess the rest of this video will be installing the drive shaft and all those other little things, and then we can go on a test drive.
Alright, so it is a new day, and today I'm picking up the drive shaft for the Soarer. That is all set. Advanced Driveline in Orlando took care of me, so I'm gonna go pick up the drive shaft, and later today hopefully we can slap this car completely together, and we'll have a fully manual swap Toyota Soarer.
Alright guys, it is the end of the day, and I have the drive shaft. I have everything that I need to complete the Soarer's manual swap. We got the Soarer in here. It just started like downpouring really bad outside, so we got this in before it started raining. The first thing that I did, and I did both of them off camera, was I adjusted the clutch pedal to stick a little bit further out, because in line with the other pedals, the clutch pedal was still depressed a decent amount in, so I adjusted the screw. Now it's sitting flush. That's all good to go. Second thing I did was I came over to the master, and I got the master clutch line hooked up. That's all tight, ready to go. So at this point, I think we jack the car up in the air, get the drive shaft on, put the exhaust back on, and bleed it. and we'll be good to go. Okay, so under the car, went to go and put the new drive shaft in, and unfortunately the measurements that we took to give to the drive shaft shop were incorrect. The back of the drive shaft, all of that is correct, and it lines up and fits fine with the adapter that I have, but the problem is that the factory yoke compared to this custom yoke, this is way too small, and the inner diameter is too small, it's too short, and it's missing teeth. I think it's 2 teeth off inside, so this wouldn't even fit. Obviously, if we had like an old custom R154 drive shaft made, we could just like swap that yoke off with the other one and it'll work, but we don't. But we do have Adam's old manual JZX 100 R154 drive shaft, and as you can see, it is too long, but when I put my automatic drive shaft next to it, it looks like we should be able to take my automatic side, put it on this, and it'll work. That's my hope. I'm hoping that that'll work. So that's what we're gonna try for now. Typical car things, working on cars, things don't go as planned, but
It don't fit.
it don't fit, but we're gonna try and make it work. So let's see if it works. I swapped the auto back end onto the manual back end because the auto one was shorter, and slides in just fine, but I don't think that it's short enough to still go in the diff. So,
Oh, that thing's gone.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me get awkward again.
Yeah, it was worth a try. We had it laying around, so we figured we'd see if it would work. It was close, but not close enough. All right, so after a little bit of a battle trying to figure out the drive shaft situation, I think we have the right one. I got the drive shaft delivered today, and it had the same yoke on it that we dropped it off with. So that obviously didn't work. Had to go all the way back, bring the drive shaft. They swapped the yoke out for the correct one, I think. And here it is. So much bigger, 23 teeth. And they also extended the shaft itself 3/4 of an inch. So this should work. We have the car in the air on jack stands. So we're just gonna get under there, get this thing in there, get it tight, put fluids in it, bleed the clutch.
Mike, isn't your car on air without the jack stands?
Yeah, this is what it looks like when it's aired up and driving, for everyone in the comments that wants to say that every time I'm driving. But typical manual stuff. I'm just gonna time lapse it and let you guys see the finished result, because this has been going on for a while and I want to get this done.
You're so done with it.
I'm very done. I just want
this
this.
the finished result. The only way to tell that it's finished result, you have to do like skits and
Big
shit.
old burnout. I told you.
Nope.
You gotta do
Nope,
it.
not that
And
bad.
then it's gonna look just like before.
I told you I'd put
That's
knuckles
fine.
on it.
You sure?
I told people way in the beginning, like,
Just one burnout.
okay, manual swap is cool for the owner of the car, but in terms of watching the content, it's not the most entertaining swap in the world.
fulfill
It's
their
not like
needs.
I'm making 500 horsepower in
Lots
this
of
swap.
clutch dumps.
It's just a shifter with my hand. That's the only difference. But
Always get line.
boost to the moon.
Yeah.
Send her to the moon.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. We have a successful drive shaft. Drive shaft is installed. Very good. Very happy. So I didn't film it, but me and Chris, we put the exhaust back in and got it all mounted up, except for where it mounts to the downpipe. And then we ran into yet another issue when we went to do that. So there is the downpipe. I needed that to meet up there, and it would not want to do that. And because the transmission mount, those two holes right there, the exhaust was hitting the transmission mount because they have spacers now because of the different trans. It's hitting. So the wrong way to do it would be to take the spacer out and jack it up on that side, but that's going to put a bunch of stress, and that's not good. So the right thing to do is put the spacer back in, tighten the transmission mount, and modify the exhaust to go around it. So unfortunately, that is where we're left with this for tonight. Something I did not expect that we'd have to do, but there's a first for everything, and we're finding that out with each step. So okay, so it is time. It's officially first startup of the Soarer. Now that it's manual. Sorry if my face gets cut off at all from this. The camera's not as wide as I'd like, but so I shouldn't need neutral to start it. Okay, the exhaust is not on, so it's a little louder than usual, but until we get that fixed, it's gonna be a little loud, but I'm not gonna take it home tonight.
Oh, let's see the tires spin.
All right. E-brake down, clutch in, first gear. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go through all of them, see if they all work.
Fourth. Speedometer's working.
Them all reverse work too.
Yeah, so everything looks like it's working. That ABS light's been on ever since I basically put the air suspension in. Don't worry about that. You can see shift position just has an open hole now. It doesn't have letters, so that's cool. Make sure everything works. I'll put it in reverse. Reverse works. Fuck yeah. It beeps when I'm backing up. We did it. Fuck yeah. I'm so pumped.
Let's go home.
All right, it's time to go. I will tune back in this video when exhaust is not hitting my transmission and we can finish that and I can actually drive this. So, I'm so pumped. That's right? No. That is incorrect, sir. It grabs like right, so there's the middle and the top, it's like right below the middle. That's perfect. Alright, so she moves under her own power. Everything is good there. Ooh, what about the exhaust not being hooked up when I air down? Only one way to find out.
I'll look underneath there and make sure you're not going to hit it.
We'll see.
No, you should be fine.
Alright, we're good.
Yeah, you're okay.
It is manual. I'm so happy. All right, so to give you guys a better idea of what I was dealing with the night before with Chris, went to go put the exhaust on. Exhaust wouldn't fit because of the transmission mount and the new location that it has. So if you look here, because we have these spacers put in to the trans mount to be able to fit this trans, I think it has to do with this mount up here, this mount being aftermarket and not OEM. I think it sticks higher up, so that's the reasoning for needing the spacers. But regardless, it will not let me clear for that reason. So a couple options. I could try and find another 2-bolt flange and kind of space this, and then that would give me that much less distance to close, and then hammer over here, or take this piece of pipe off completely, hammer the living crap out of it. I'm not too sure yet. I just wanted to get the car up on the lift to figure this out, and I will check back in. All right, so I've come to the conclusion, if I hammer it out, if it doesn't work, we're gonna have to cut it anyway, so it's not like I'm gonna be doing damage. So I'm going to heat this thing up red hot and take a ball hammer and just try and make it as neat as I can, and then we'll do a test fit and hopefully get any closer. On the first try, I came super close. Might be hard to tell, but the bolt is just barely touching and the exhaust is all the way tight. So I made another measurement, made some Sharpie marks. I'm gonna take it back off, do a little bit more hammering, and then I think that will be okay. All right, this is quite the monumental drive here. This is my first official drive in the Soarer, manual swapped. Let me turn this down. Nothing Nowhere came out with a new album, and it is so good. But anyways, this is the first official drive, and we are driving all the way to the track. 25-minute drive, and I've done like a little putt around the parking lot, and it felt great. So I'm just going to hope everything's good. Exhaust is all set. Was able to hammer out a good enough section to where it does not hit, does not rattle. So we're officially done, I think. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. This car's got real wood in it, thankfully. You guys also have to remember, I don't drive stick very often, and when I do, it's usually left-hand drive. So me driving a right-hand drive stick for the first time, well, not for the first time, but in a really long time, it might take some getting used to, but regardless, let's do it. Immediately, drinks here is gonna be annoying. I already know. All right, off the rip, clutch feels pretty good. Like I had said previously, it is a stage 5 clutch, so it'll be able to hold power. Oh, I'm so pumped. It's gonna take some getting used to, that's for sure. It's really weird hearing this thing manual, feeling manual, everything. I'm not used to it at all. Rev matching, so I am hearing a little bit of like vibration when I'm speeding up. I'm assuming it's drive shaft related. I don't know exactly what it could be. Kind of a bummer. I was hoping that this thing would just be write it off, it'd be good, but we got some kinks to work out. Oh, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. I don't know what that vibration's gonna be. I'm really curious. Right off the bat though, I will say this clutch feels really, really nice. For those that remember, this is an action clutch. This is a stage 5 action clutch. And it feels really good. Being able to rev this car out for the first time, I'm so pumped up. This little Gen 2 3071 is fucking so good. So good. I can't wait for the new OEM shifter to come in. This one's fine, but it's falling apart. This interior will just look, it'll look so good once this is all dialed in. Yes! All smiles. Nothing but smiles. One thing I am noticing, the overdrive off light on the dash is blinking, obviously because there's no more overdrive, there's no more automatic transmission. There's no other lights on the dash besides that, which is great. I was expecting a check engine light or something like that, but that's the only light. Maybe there's a way that I can get around that. I think if I take this console apart again and bridge the overdrive connection, maybe that will fix it, but for now, she's fucking cherry. God, being a natural left-handed person, shifting like this, although it takes getting used to, I prefer this way much more than left-hand drive shifting. Way much more. Going into fifth is cake, going into everything else is cake. The push away, everything. I love the way the hand movements are with this. It's a beautiful ass day. We're heading to OSW. I'm doing some filming, and my car's manual. Great day.
Alright, so this video has been in the making for a very long time. Car is finally swapped. Could not be any happier. Drives amazing. We're at OSW right now getting some testing in for the E36, and of course I had to drive this car here, make sure that everything was good, which for the most part I think it's perfect. So we're chilling. It's a perfect day out today, but I'm gonna end the video here. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to see this for the 2 years I've had this car, and hope you guys are happy that it is finally done. I'll get some more videos in the future of actually ripping on it and having some fun, but for this one I just wanted to make sure that everything was good, give it a little bit of a shakedown, and I think we're perfect. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.